Welcome to CBS Sports HQ. That's Jacqueline Agostino. I'm Tommy Tran. You know, it's not hockey season, but we're doing a anchor line change here on HQ. Got a lot to talk about over the next few minutes here. Baseball breaking news, but we also have football breaking news.
Yeah, a lot of injury news that we saw over the last 24 hours, but some breaking news in regards to Jalen Ramsey that is just coming down right now. It is not what Dolphins fans want to hear. Cornerback Jalen Ramsey, he's going to be out until December after undergoing meniscus surgery, finally getting a timetable for Jalen Ramsey. That is all according to the NFL Network. The All-Pro corner was injured at practice on Thursday and had to be carted off of the field with a December timeline. That means he's going to miss at least the first 12 games of the year. Ramsey is under contract with the Fins for the next 2 seasons. And for more on this breaking news in regards to Jalen Ramsey and the Dolphins, let's bring in our NFL insider, Josina Anderson. Jojo, when you're hearing Jalen Ramsey, he's going to be out until December, missing 12 games. How much of a blow is this for the Dolphins?
Well, it's a huge blow for the Dolphins because there's several teams that really try to amplify their resources after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, particularly in the AFC, and not even to mention the AFC East, where the Jets have not only Josh Allen, but also Aaron Rodgers. So you're just trying to protect yourself in the pass defense, and strengthening up that secondary is something that the Dolphins defense has been trying to do. But now that he is out, because once they went in there with the surgery and was examining the meniscus, the thing that you were trying to determine is if it was a trim or if it was going to be a repair. And we knew that if it was going to be a trim that had a shorter timeline, that would be more like 2 months and hopeful for the start of the season. But you could tell that the way that Jalen Ramsey did that tweet yesterday, and he was already saying, I'm going to make that strong push towards the end of the season, that he kind of already had an idea. Obviously, you wait for the confirmation of surgery. You don't want it to be a situation like Von Miller, where they were thinking he was going to come back for the Jets game last year when he got hurt Thanksgiving, and then they go in there and they end up finding that he actually did tear the ACL. So that's why you always wait to see what the extent of the damage is. So now they've gone in there, they've had to repair it. And the earliest you're looking at is 5 months, which has him in that December area. And we talked about it earlier. You know, if you're coming back in the December and you're looking at the Dolphins schedule, even in that time, they are facing teams like the Commanders, the Titans, the Jets, the Cowboys, the Ravens, and Bills. So there is no break in December. And then the other factor is he even going to be ready to the extent that we have come accustomed to expecting from a Jalen Ramsey? Last year, Pro Football Focus had him ranked as the 3rd best cornerback behind Sauce Gardner and Patrick Surtain. He had a career high in tackles last year at 88. He was their big splash acquisition in the trade in March that we broke here on CBS Sports HQ at the time. Obviously, he is trying to even get himself back in the way that we're accustomed to seeing him in coverage. A little bit of a slip there in yards per attempt allowed and completion percentage allowed over the last 2 years, but still very effective when he kind of gathers himself back in and really focuses. So it is a big blow, but they do have a second round selection out of South Carolina in the draft this year. The Dolphins are picking a Cam Smith. So he's somebody that's going to have to come in there and play opposite Xavier Howard. And they also have someone that comes in the dime packages last year, a guy by the name of Kader. So these are young guys, and he was a college free agent from the 2022 season, so already having at least 1 year underneath his belt. So they're going to be having to call on some younger resources. But hey, we saw the Buffalo Bills already do this last year when their top corner was out. So it's not impossible. It's just not ideal when you're looking at the type of wide receiver talent that's not only in the AFC East, but in the AFC conference in general.
And Jojo, you mentioned the cornerback room. Our Mike Cunio, he's at Dolphins camp, and Mike McDaniel saying, quote, he feels very, very good about the cornerback room with Ramsey being out. You mentioned Xavier Howard. You mentioned Cam Smith there in the secondary. They're young, but in your opinion, is that enough for this Dolphins secondary until December?
Well, don't be surprised if the Dolphins look either internally to, bolster that. Guys, they always say next man up. Well, somebody's going to be next man up. And whether they go external outside of the Dolphins, roster to see if there's anybody out there coming off the couch to be able to help. Now, it's not, unheard of. We've seen Eric Weddle come off the couch eating ice cream and sprinkles and be able to help the Rams win a Super Bowl. So there is talent out there to be, kind of be pilfered through, but that's the job of the general manager. You're constantly supposed to be keeping your eyes peeled on rosters and the talent that's out there, not only on your team and that is out there externally to help you in case stuff happens. What is his name? Chris Rock says that's why we get insurance, in case stuff happens.
All right, that is our NFL insider, Josina Anderson, as we were following that breaking news out of the NFL where Jalen Ramsey is going to be out until December. Thank you so much, JoJo. We appreciate it. And our training camp tour continues here on CBS Sports HQ. JJ, a very busy guy. July 30th. Up next, he's got the 49ers. Then double duty kicks in with the Jags and the Bills, the Browns and the Raiders. And then on August 2nd, the Cardinals and the Steelers.